Hello and welcome to Quiz Class. I'm Ellen, your host, and today we have 100 questions on general knowledge. Let's take a look at our Quiz Class awards, and here they are. Let us know how you rank in the comments at the end. And our categories for today are: we will be beginning with migration patterns. What term describes the movement of people from rural areas to urban centers? Urbanization, suburbanization, or counter-urbanization? Urbanization. Which of the following migration patterns is referred to as brain drain? Retirees moving, low-skilled workers relocating for agricultural work, or skilled professionals moving to developed countries? And the last one is the answer. Which region has the most internal displacement from armed conflict? South Asia, Eastern Europe, or Sub-Saharan Africa? Sub-Saharan Africa. What motivates pastoralist societies to migrate seasonally? Climate change, economic opportunities, or the search for grazing land? The search for grazing land. Which of the following best describes the transnational migration? Migration within one country, moving abroad while keeping ties to your home country, or temporary migration for seasonal work? Moving abroad while keeping ties to your home country. Which of the following theories explains the patterns of migration based on the push-pull model? Social network theory, migration systems theory, or neoclassical economics theory? Neoclassical economics theory. What event in the late 19th and early 20th centuries triggered migration to the US? World War I, the Gold Rush, or the Irish potato famine? The Irish potato famine. What term describes migrants keeping ties to their home country while integrating? Segregation, multiculturalism, or transnationalism? Transnationalism. Which disease became a cause of paralysis worldwide? Tuberculosis, polio, or measles? Polio. What displaces populations in low-lying island nations due to environmental migration? Deforestation, overpopulation, or rising sea levels? Overpopulation. What caused the Great Migration of African Americans from the rural South to northern and western cities? Industrial job availability, educational opportunities, or political unrest in the South? Industrial job availability. Which country had major outmigration due to crisis in 2010? Canada, Norway, or Venezuela? Venezuela. Which choices describe chain migration? Migration based on random selection, permanent relocation to a different country, or migration through established social networks? Migration through established social networks. Which organization assists refugees and displaced persons worldwide? WFP, IOM, or UNHCR? UNHCR. What is the main cause of increasing climate refugees in recent years? Natural disasters, urbanization, or political conflict? Natural disasters. What does the Hispanic paradox refer to in U.S. immigrant populations? Greater access to healthcare services, increased poverty rates among Hispanics, or higher life expectancy despite lower socioeconomic status? And that last one is the answer. Which migration pattern involves migrants returning to their home country after residing abroad? Circular migration, involuntary migration, or temporary migration? Circular migration. In what year did the United Nations adopt the Global Compact for Safe, Orderly, and Regular Migration? 2013, 2018, or 2020? 2018. Which ancient civilization is noted for its patterns of migration and trade across the Mediterranean? The Greeks, the Phoenicians, or the Egyptians? The Phoenicians. What does asylum seeker refer to in migration policy? Person fleeing persecution, migrant seeking work, or undocumented immigrant without legal status? A person fleeing persecution for protection. Renewable and non-renewable energy for question 21. Which renewable energy sources is considered the most abundant globally? Hydropower, solar energy, or wind energy? Solar energy. What does peak oil refer to regarding non-renewable energy? Oil reserves that are exhausted, increased oil prices due to scarcity, or maximum production of oil before decline? Maximum production of oil before decline. What does a higher energy return on investment indicate? Increased energy consumption, greater efficiency of energy production, or lower costs of energy production? Greater efficiency of energy production. Which of the following is used to generate electricity in a geothermal power plant? Solar panels, biomass combustion, or steam from hot water reservoirs? Steam from hot water reservoirs. Which non-renewable energy source leads to the most global CO2 emissions? Coal, natural gas, or nuclear energy? Coal. What is the difference between first generation and second generation biofuels in biomass energy? First is more sustainable, second is not. First is from waste, second is from crops, or first uses food crops, second non-food biomass. And that last one is the answer. Which renewable energy technology uses moving air to generate electricity? Wind turbines, hydroelectric power, or geothermal heat pumps? Wind turbines. What is the following the biggest hindrance to wind and solar energy? The high cost of technology, the environmental impact of manufacturing, or the intermittent nature of energy production? The intermittent nature of energy production. What process releases energy from the atomic nucleus in nuclear energy? Nuclear fission, radioactive decay, or nuclear fusion? Nuclear fission. Which renewable energy source comes from organic materials and can be converted into fuels? Solar energy, biomass energy, or geothermal energy? Biomass energy. What is the main environmental concern with fossil fuel extraction and burning? Climate change, soil erosion, or habitat destruction? Climate change. Which country is a global leader in geothermal energy production and use? Japan, Iceland, or the United States? Iceland. Which of the following technology does not increase the efficiency of solar energy collection? Solar tracking systems, concentrated solar power, or traditional flat plate collectors? Traditional flat plate collectors. What type of energy extraction is hydraulic fracturing associated with? Biomass, natural gas, or photovoltaic solar cells? Natural gas. What is the advantage by changing to renewable energy in relation to climate change? Reducing dependence to foreign oil, lowering greenhouse gas emissions, or increasing energy security? Lowering greenhouse gas emissions. Which renewable technology converts sunlight directly into electricity? Solar thermal energy, concentrated solar power, or photovoltaic solar cells? Photovoltaic solar cells. Which renewable energy source is best for providing baseload power? Hydropower, wind energy, or biomass energy? Hydropower. Which non-renewable energy source has the lowest carbon footprint? Oil, coal, or natural gas? Natural gas. In life cycle analysis, what is the main disadvantage of solar panel production? Use of rare earth metals, water usage in manufacturing, or high energy return on investment? Use of rare earth metals. What is the main energy strategy of the Paris Agreement? Invest in nuclear energy, expand fossil fuel production, or increase the use of renewable energy? Increase the use of renewable energy. And let's move over to archipelagos for question 41. In terms of land area, which of the following archipelagos is the largest in the world? The Caribbean, the Philippine, or the Indonesian archipelago? The Indonesian archipelago. The word archipelago comes from which language? Greek, Latin, or Italian? Greek. Which archipelagos consists of over 7,000 islands and is located in Southeast Asia? Japan, Maldives, or the Philippines? The Philippines. The Aleutian Islands are part of which major archipelago? Kuril Islands, Arctic Archipelago, or Bering Sea Archipelago? Bering Sea Archipelago. The Galapagos Islands are part of which country? Chile, Peru, or Ecuador? Ecuador. Which archipelago is known for being the home of the indigenous Sami people? Faroe Islands, Orkney Islands, or Lofoten Islands? Lofoten Islands. What is the main geological process that creates volcanic archipelagos? Glacial activity, sedimentation, or plate tectonics and subduction? Plate tectonics and subduction. Excuse me. Which archipelago includes Utrecht, formerly known as Barrow, Svalbard, Aleutian Islands, or Arctic Archipelago? Arctic Archipelago. The Bahamas Archipelago is composed of which type of geological feature? Coral islands, volcanic islands, or continental islands? Coral islands. Which archipelago is famous for the historical site of Easter Island? The Hawaiian Islands, Chilean Archipelago, or Polynesian Islands? The Chilean Archipelago. Which of the following linguistic families has influenced the language of the Mediterranean archipelago of Malta? Slavic, Semitic, or Germanic? Semitic. What is the name of the broader South Pacific archipelago that includes the Society Islands? Tonga, Samoa, or French Polynesia? French Polynesia. Which statements describe the relationship between archipelagos and marine ecosystems? Archipelagos deplete marine resources, archipelagos have no impact on ecosystems, or they support diverse marine habitats? They support diverse marine habitats. Which island is home to the indigenous Maohai people? Society Islands, Solomon Islands, or Tuamotu Islands? Society Islands. The Comoros Archipelago is situated between which two larger landmasses? Seychelles and Mauritius, Sri Lanka and the Maldives, or Madagascar and the African continent? Madagascar and the African continent. Which of the following describes a serious environmental risk that many archipelagos worldwide face? Overfishing, deforestation, or rising sea levels? Rising sea levels. Which country is home to the unique volcanic archipelago of the Azores? Spain, France, or Portugal? Portugal. What nation in Europe owns the archipelago of the Balearic Islands? Spain, France, or Greece? Spain. Which of the following archipelagos is located along the Pacific Ring of Fire? Maldives, the Caribbean islands, or the Japanese archipelago? The Japanese archipelago. Which kind of geological characteristic makes up the majority of the Seychelles Islands? Coral reefs, sand dunes, or granite formations? Granite formations. National identity. For question 61. Which of the following is not typically considered a component of national identity? Economic status, shared language, or cultural traditions? Economic status. The concept of civic nationalism emphasizes which of the following principles? A common set of political values and citizenship. In which year was the term national identity first widely recognized? 1961, 1970, or 1989? (1970). Which of the following is an example of a myth that can shape national identity? The portrayal of a founding event, the recognition of cultural diversity, or the existence of multiple languages in a nation? The portrayal of a founding event. Which theorist introduced the concept of imagined communities related to national identity? Pierre Bourdieu, Emile Durkheim, or Benedict Anderson? Benedict Anderson. In light of globalization, which of the following is a serious threat to national identity? Political fragmentation, increased cultural homogeneity, or strengthening of local identities? Increased cultural homogeneity. What does cultural assimilation primarily involve? Retaining cultural differences, rejecting the dominant culture, or adopting the dominant culture's practices? Adopting the dominant culture's practices. Which of the following describes ethnic nationalism? Loyalty to a shared civic identity, nationalism based on shared culture, or political loyalty to democratic institutions? Nationalism based on shared culture. What is highlighted by identity politics? It promotes broader social integration, it encourages shared national narratives, or it can lead to the fragmentation of society. It can lead to the fragmentation of society. Which of the following events had a significant impact on the national identity of the U.S. in the 20th century? The Great Depression, the Civil Rights Movement, or the signing of the Constitution? The Civil Rights Movement. What does the term hyphenated American mean in the context of national identity? Individuals with dual citizenship, immigrants seeking permanent residency, or Americans who identify with multiple cultural heritages? And the last one is the answer. Which country is known for promoting national identity through language policy? France, Canada, or Switzerland? France. What does national narrative refer to? The official history of a nation, the political discourse of national leaders, or the collective myths and stories of a nation? The collective myths and stories of a nation. Which sociologists highlighted the role of socialization in the development of a national identity? Emile Durkheim, Herbert Spencer, or Pierre Bourdieu? Emile Durkheim. Which of the following best describes stateless nation? A country with no citizens, a nation without cultural ties, or a group with a shared identity lacking sovereignty? A group with a shared identity lacking sovereignty. The soft power relates to national identity by emphasizing which of the following? Military strength, economic dominance, or cultural influence and values? Cultural influence and values. Which statements best describes the relationship between national identity and migration? Migration homogenizes cultures. Migration dilutes national identity. Migration redefines national identity. And the last one is the answer. In which region is the concept of pan-nationalism most commonly observed? Africa, Latin America, or the Middle East? The Middle East. Which concept refers to the emotional attachment individuals feel towards their nation? National pride, cultural identity, or civic engagement? National pride. Which aspect of national identity is most affected by digital technology? Decreased globalization, strengthened traditional narratives, or fragmentation of identity among youth? Fragmentation of identity among youth. Name that TV show theme song. For question 81, which TV show features the theme song Where Everybody Knows Your Name? Cheers, Friends, or The Office? Cheers. Who composed the haunting theme song, The X-Files theme? Danny Elfman, Hans Zimmer, or Mark Snow? Mark Snow. Which show features I'll Be There For You by the Rembrandts? Scrubs, Friends, or New Girl? Friends. What elements does the Game of Thrones theme song by Ramin Djawadi incorporate? A cappella harmonies, solo piano, or a full orchestra with choir vocals? A full orchestra with choir vocals. The iconic theme song for the French Prince of Bel-Air features which of the following lyrical themes? Wealth and privilege, overcoming adversity, or family and friendship? Family and friendship. In which television program does the line "In West Philadelphia, born and raised" appear in the theme song? Family Matters, Malcolm in the Middle, or the French Prince of Bel-Air? The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Which musical element is prominently featured in The Simpsons theme song? Jazz influences, reggae rhythms, or brass instruments? Brass instruments. The theme song for Stranger Things is influenced by which musical style? Rock, classical, or synthwave? Synthwave. Who composed the original theme music for The Office? David Schwartz, Jay Ferguson, or John Williams? Jay Ferguson. What sound effect is distinctive in the Twilight Zone theme song? A ringing bell, electric guitar riffs, or an eerie xylophone melody? An eerie xylophone melody. Which show features the theme Ain't Nobody, performed by Chaka Khan? Martin, Roseanne, or Living Single? Living Single. Who composed the theme song North for Northern Exposure? Bob Dylan, James Taylor, or David Schwartz? David Schwartz. What aspect is found in the lyrics of the MASH theme song, Suicide is Painless? Emphasis on heroism, dark humor about war, or celebration of military life? Dark humor about war. Which song by Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds is featured in Peaky Blinders? Into My Arms, Red Right Hand, or The Mercy Seat? Red Right Hand. The theme song of The Big Bang Theory is known for its focus on which subject? Science and history, love and relationships, or friendship and camaraderie? Science and history. What is the theme song for Lost, composed by Michael Giacchino? Main title, The Constant, or Life and Death? Main title. The opening theme of True Detective Season 1 is heavily influenced by which musical genre? Jazz, blues, or classical? Blues. The theme song You've Got Time is the opening for which Netflix series? 13 Reasons Why, Stranger Things, or Orange is the New Black? Orange is the New Black. Who composed the theme for The Crown? Howard Shore, Hans Zimmer, or Martin Phipps? Hans Zimmer. Which Goo Goo Dolls song was the theme for Dawson's Creek? Iris, Glide, or Name? Iris. Bonus question. An archipelago is a group of what? Let us know the answer in the comments. Let's take a look at our quiz class rewards again. Remember to let us know how you rank in the comments along with the answer to the bonus question. Thanks for playing this quiz. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.